Hello and welcome to a very special local lunch back on a Monday for a change. I'm James, and as usual today I'm bringing you a local show with some great local guests. Parrots with Piercings are in the studio with me today, a Canberra punk / alt rock band, and they're joining me right now in the studio. Thanks for joining me, guys. Welcome to UCFM.
Thank you for having us.
Should turn your mics on first, hey?
Oh,
That's all right.
Yeah.
right.
Thanks for coming in.
No worries at all.
Now, I've been doing some research into you guys for this interview. I know this sounds super weird, but none of the articles I read on you guys said anything about how you guys kind of came together as a band. So I wanted to know the origin story of Parrots with Piercings.
Yeah, well, I mean, it starts a long time ago. We've known each other since we're about 7 years old. So,
Oh, wow.
and even in primary school, we're tempted.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
And yeah, so, sort of didn't really grow apart, but, ended up at different colleges, and we ended up reconnecting a few years after college, or a couple of years after college.
I tried to get a really good drummer, and he was unavailable, so I had.
Yeah, it's about right.
Out.
So I went for Khial.
Yeah. No, he's not wrong. And then, yeah, we tried, we were in a band called Green Bricks. That was just another, a four-piece, sort of similar genre. It evolved into Crash House, and then by that stage, me and Dave were sort of struggling, trying to get four people together for regular jams and catch-up, so we decided to just give it a crack, us two. And that was, 8 years ago.
Yep.
So ever since then, we've been, just making a lot of noise.
It's always more fun jamming with just two people.
Yeah, it's way less complicated.
Lot less to go wrong. I nearly swore. That was very close.
Well done. A lot less to set up too.
Yep.
I think there's like a unique Australian genre that's kind of found its home in Canberra, and you guys are very much amongst it. The deep and like kind of melancholic, earthy feeling alt rock. Did you guys just start jamming that when you were younger, or how'd you kind of come about to find your sound?
Ooh, I think it would be. I used to write a lot of acoustic sort of stuff, and it wouldn't really transpire too well into like a full band. But taking it on, as in with the two-piece, you like utilising the bass and the guitar, giving it that full sound, but still keeping the storytelling elements to everything I write with Parrots and all that. I think it just sort of fell into it. We're also influenced by similar sort of bands, so I think it wasn't like a case of like fighting for one direction. It's just what we ended up with.
I think it's more fun too. Like, I mean, we even practice jamming and whatever else, and trying to sing, even if it's Blink, like we'd do like "I Miss You" or all the small things, and just have like an Aussie accent throughout it all, and like it sounds incredible. Like it's just something fun to do. But I think it just was natural. I think it just felt more authentic, and like what we said held more value because we were saying it how we'd speak it, or singing it how we'd speak it. So
I love an Australian accent in music. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, same.
It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
You kind of spoke about just then that you were inspired by the, I don't want to say old school, but kind of old school punk and alternative music when you were younger. Has that kind of shone through with your music today? Do you take a lot of inspiration from that stuff, or?
I think it's ingrained. I don't even think it's a decision. I think, it's definitely ingrained.
Part of the backbone.
I think a lot of more, sort of recent or, last 5-6 year influences have been just Australian. No, like I think, we've gotten compared to like Luca Brasi's or Smith Streets or, even Dead Love.
Yeah.
So, I think.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. There are more sort of Australian influences as we sort of progress, or as we got a little bit older and, found an appreciation for that sound specifically, I think. So,
yeah. Were there any other bands in particular that you took a lot of inspiration from, like especially with this new song?
I think we spent a lot of time trying not to sound like other bands more than anything.
I think a big influence was the Heartaches, because obviously it's a similar sort of setup with the two-piece, and when Pheromones came out, that was one of the best albums I ever heard. And yeah, it was similar sort of writing, but I wanted to do that, but heavier. So
yeah, well, it's awesome. You've kind of taken this genre and twisted it into your own thing, which I think sounds great. I wanted to look a bit deeper into the new song, which comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, yep.
Look out.
Well done on it.
Thanks
Good
very
stuff.
much.
What went into the writing of it, and what was the process of making it?
So it was definitely like a pretty big, like we wanted, it needed to be an evolution of Parrots. I think, you know, we've always been sort of larrikins. We've always gotten up there. We've always yelled. We've always joked, bantered, you know, like had a good time. But it's sort of got to a stage now that, you know, we're noticing that people are actually listening to what we do, and like that, you know, it's
Oh my God.
whilst, you know, Cadbury's not a good example, but there are songs that have a lot of meaning in, you know, even previous recordings and stuff. This song, I think it was a cool way of showing an evolution of what we do with our music. But, you know, I've even written some dot points here, but, you know, like we've explored themes of inadequacy and like judgment, which I think is something that sort of everyone, you know, goes through and feels. We love writing in metaphors. I think that's always like a really fun way of conveying a message. And often, you know, we're playing something upbeat, singing about something quite sad or depressing. So that speaking in metaphors sort of disguises that and turns it into a story, which I think like this song does pretty awesomely. But, you know, the whole song is about self-reflection. It's about, you know, isolation, self-criticism. It's about being trapped in your own mind. And, you know, even the way Dave, it's like my favourite thing about it, but the way that he sings the verses, you know, it starts off as like someone mildly sane, and then by the second half of the verse, it's just absolute, you know, chaos,
Yeah.
which sort of shows the chaos of the mind, you know, being trapped in one's thoughts. So I think it was just like fun to actually get intentionally creative with it. And a lot of the time there's not a whole lot of thought that goes into writing each line. Dave's just got them ready to go. So it's fun to try and, you know, we sat down and discussed like what were you thinking? Like what was, you know, going through your mind at the time, and sort of the lyrics really speak for themselves, I think. So yeah, we're pretty proud of this one.
Also, just chuck in on the end there, it was the first time we went into a studio for that song, and we just didn't change it in the studio. We just let it be exactly what the song was. Whereas other tracks we've put out, there's been too much interference, and sometimes we feel like the song wasn't captured the way we wanted it to because there was too much third-party direction, if you know what I mean.
And even
whereas this...
even within ourselves though, you know, like you hear the song recorded properly for the first time and you're like, oh, it'd be cool if it did this, or maybe it needs that, and like we'd over engineer a lot of the songs as well. So this one just like was exactly how, you know, it should have been and how it was played from the get-go. So yeah, it's authentic, which is pretty mad.
I can tell from how you've been talking and kind of your body language that you guys are really proud of this stuff.
Yeah,
this
well,
one.
And it's the beginning of where we're headed as well. So it's like the start. So yeah,
bit of a teaser.
Yeah,
More stuff to come.
Literally, yeah, we got fair bit.
Maybe.
Have you played it live yet?
Yeah, heaps. It's
Yeah?
actually like 2 years old.
Nah, more. It was like
2022, wasn't it?
21.
Oh, 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's sort of how it goes because recording's really expensive.
I've heard. Yeah.
So it's like, it's sort of, you know, crowd tested for a while before you can afford to get into a
Before
studio.
you're like sure that it's worth worth recording. Right.
it.
And what did the fans think of it? What did the people you played for think of it?
Well, we don't go around asking because that sort of feels pretty vain. But I mean, they bop around.
That's good.
Yeah, that sort of brings the energy up in the room, I think.
Have you enjoyed playing it?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard as I'm a bigger bloke and it's quick, so I'm sweaty after it. But yeah, it's good fun. I just have to make sure I keep a puffer with me.
I saw that you are playing a show with Highland Light coming up.
Yeah.
Do you have any other shows planned for kind of the release of this single?
Yeah, next month's pretty cool. So yeah, we've got the 7th, which is going to be a wicked show. Like we're supporting some pretty gnarly acts. And the next day we've been invited to a studio to do some live recording, which is going to be cool. They're going to get some video footage
Definitely
as
not
well.
at another uni.
We don't talk of that one.
No, we don't.
And then, the 21st of next month as well, we've got another pretty massive show lined up. We've got Nelly Nova, Bad Luna, and Boxdie. So it's another pretty massive show, which we're pretty keen for as well. So it'd be good to sort of get back. Like we've had a little bit of a break, which is nice as well, and been focusing on things that we discussing? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
He was really
yeah.
evasive of the question, but yeah, we've been working on a lot of music, so it's been good to focus on that. But yeah, a couple of big gigs next month, which is pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
guys
it's true.
teased at the end, before we threw to the song, that you may have some new music coming out. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, you want to go?
Nah, you go.
All right. Yeah, so we're pretty excited. We're, for the first time ever, recording a collection of music that's going to come out as a collection of music, which is even more exciting. So,
I think it's called an album.
yeah, well, yeah. So we've got 10 songs that are in the works at the moment, which is pretty awesome. As it's like I was sort of discussing, it's like the evolution of Parrots and where it's sort of headed. So, this is. That song, Mind Senses was recorded the exact same way that we've recorded the whole album as well. So it's going to be, sort of the stepping stone, that transition between what we were versus what we're, going to become, or hopefully. Yeah, so, there's a fair bit in it too where, we've got a couple of softer, quieter songs. We've got a lot more heavier sort of stuff, heavier than we've ever recorded. But yeah, very, very excited.
It is very exciting. Yeah.
It's a long process.
Yeah. That leads
But it's
perfectly
exciting.
to my next question. Where's it at? Have you got it all recorded, or have you just got ideas at the moment? You got your settle on final 10, or
we've got the 10 tracks. We've got all 10 songs recorded drums, so they're all ready to go. And then we're probably halfway through, maybe guitar.
Yeah, touch over.
Yeah, and then bass doesn't really count. We'll get
Put that in at some point.
that in there somewhere, and
it's a later issue?
and we've got a couple of like songs like the lyrics for songs down as well, but we're like you probably say 50-60% complete, I reckon.
Yep.
So we're gonna sort of focus on it for the rest of the year. I think probably won't be playing as many shows, but it's definitely all the behind the scenes stuff that we'll be working on. So.
You're just making fun of bass there.
Yeah.
Never do that.
You're obviously a two-piece band.
Yeah.
Who does the bass?
Kyle.
Nah. I mean, I got a kick. That does lower end sometimes. Dave actually runs his guitar through a splitter, so it's actually played out of a guitar cab and a bass cab, which, it sort of fills the space as much as necessary for us, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I also run it through the bass line through an octave as well, so it brings out all the lower tones, and then the highs are only left on the guitar side.
Right.
yeah, pretty much it just thickens it up.
Basically, you don't need a bassist.
Yeah. Yeah.
2024.
That's always been my philosophy as well.
Yeah, I mean, as the drummer, I definitely would love some help with the rhythm
Some
section.
more
but
rhythm,
yeah, but that's all right. We're doing all right, I guess.
Let's bring it back to the new album. Is there a theme for it, or what's it about? Is this kind of just a collection of stuff jumbled together, or?
I think it's sort of a, coming of age isn't the right word because it's like we've done that already. So I think it's like the unexpected struggle of, late 20s. Like it explores a lot of, what we've sort of gone through in the last sort of few years, really. A couple of the tracks are, again, a couple of years old. And, it's not necessarily directly about us either. It's sort of what we observe. A lot of Dave's lyrics, he even said it to me pretty recently, which I'd never really considered, but it's really observational. It's not necessarily feelings based. It's sort of what he witnesses or how he sees other people struggling. So I think, the album sort of really picks up
It's a bit
lot of
storytelling, and it definitely gels with like the day-to-day struggles of just everyday life. But fun fact as well, one of the songs on there is probably one of our oldest songs that we still play from like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so it's it's darker, it's heavier, it's I mean a lot, like without being a cliche in the modern world, it's exploring a lot of mental health. It's sort of stuff that we're all either going through or know people that are going through. So I think it's trying to be relative as well. I think so. Just I guess it's just a lot of feelings, and not a lot of happy ones. Just a lot of feelings.
Right.
Yeah,
A lot of observation.
Makes good music.
Yeah.
Now I feel like this will be a funny question to see if you want to disclose it. Do you have a title for it yet?
Not sold on it.
Not
Yeah.
sold.
It was going to be one of the tracks that are on it, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if it really fits now. So yeah, that's still in
Still in the
workshop
works.
stage. yeah.
You just mentioned that you have like one of your older songs on there.
Yeah.
Have you played any of the other ones? Any of the new ones that are going to be on there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, they've
All road tested, mate.
yeah, yeah. It's one of those things, like we're sort of always constantly writing music and things sort of change and adapt and whatever else. But a lot of the tracks on this album haven't really. We've sort of reached a spot where we're getting something down and we're pretty happy with it from the get go. So, yeah, like every single one, it's gotten to the point that even live now we're having to go, oh no, we can't play these 10 songs. Like we've got to try and play some of the older stuff because, we've personally feel like we've evolved from a lot of the older stuff, but that's also all the stuff that everyone knows and loves. So, we're trying to, it's like playing the album and then throwing in a couple of the classics, So, but, we're also conscious of the fact that we get to a point personally where it's like we've played the song several times and it's like we don't want to overplay them for ourselves either. So, yeah, it's a constant battle when it comes to picking a set list, trying to keep like people that are coming, all of our punters, like happy, but then also wanting to show them how we want them, how we want them to sort of see it. So,
well, it certainly sounds like you've got a pretty good mix from what you've released and the stuff that you have made too. You mentioned that there might be some slower stuff. Is there an acoustic song featuring?
It's not quite acoustic, but
it's definitely stripped back from what it could have been. But yeah, no acoustic track.
Just no yelling.
Yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little less angsty, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which is all right.
Yeah.
I see. Perfect. And we're going to get a special treat of a bit of an acoustic song. Tell me what are you guys going to play?
This song is called Lie to Me, and it'll be the finale track of the album.
Awesome. Cool. Is it normally acoustic or is it?
No.
No,
it's probably one of the heaviest. So
right.
This is a big change up. We decided to do about half an hour before coming here. So.
Okay, fair enough. Well, take it away.
Myself right now, focusing on the wants and not the needs. Seems with all advance there's a cancer beneath. Lord, may say anything you know to make this. Say anything, just anything you know to make this place feel safe. String me from these light bulbs that I crown these ideas from. Don't let me down till I find my way out. Even if it's not looking that way, say anything, just anything you know, to make this place feel safe. Hurt me, tell me everything will be okay, even if it's not. Say anything, just anything you know, to make this place feel safe.
Well done. Thanks for that, guys.
No worries.
Yeah, that was great.
Thanks for having us.
That was awesome. Thanks for coming on the show today. Thanks for your time. Really looking forward to listening to the new single coming out tomorrow. And yeah, all the shows coming up. Awesome.
Yeah, no, thanks very much for having us, guys.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
No worries.
Good fun.